Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a book review for you guys. This book was released yesterday and I finished it just a few days before that, and it's one that I really enjoyed, and so I'm excited to share it with you guys today. It is called The Hideaway by Lauren K. Denton, and this was actually sent to me by the author herself, so thank you so much, Lauren, for autographing and sending an early copy my way. And for everyone else, if you guys haven't heard me raving about this on my Bookstagram, or if you're not following me, a link is below, so you should definitely check that out. But I just love this so much. This is a perfect spring or like beachy read. I gave it 5 stars, and I'm going to tell you why. So first of all, I just want to give you guys a little bit of backstory on this. It is about our main character, Sarah, who is living in New Orleans. She is running a little shop that's called Bits and Pieces and is also like an interior designer. And so I think that aspect of her life I really loved and enjoyed, and it seemed that she did too, until one day she finds out that her grandmother passed away, and her grandmother owns this little place, a little bed and breakfast called the Hideaway. And so she goes there to kind of wrap up the whole like estate, go through the will reading, and just kind of put things to rest. She never really seemed like she wanted to go back to this place in Sweet Bay, Alabama, which just so happens to be about 3 hours away from where she is in New Orleans. And, you know, she seemed content with her life. Yet, when she goes there, excuse me, everything kind of like changes for her. She ends up falling back in love with Sweet Bay, and so that's kind of like this turning point where she starts to discover more of herself and her grandmother. And what was really sad too, you know, there's a little bit of heartbreak, of course. She's losing the grandma. She also lost her parents, but she also finds herself, she finds love, and there's even more to this hideaway than meets the eye. So overall, this story, it could have been really cheesy or corny or just not, you know, very well done. And I think I wasn't sure what to expect going in. This is a debut author, and yet it just blew my mind. It blew me away. It sucked me in, and I was like forcing myself to go to sleep at night because I just wanted to keep reading. And then when I would wake up or during the day at work, all I could think about was just diving back into these pages. It flowed really well, and like I said, I really enjoyed it. So going to Sarah's grandmother, Mags, I really enjoyed getting to discover her along with Sarah. So we get to see how she ended up at the Hideaway, how she became in possession of the Hideaway, her life before the Hideaway, like what kind of turned her away from that life and, you know, kind of finding herself at the Hideaway. So it was a very similar sort of circumstance that I think Sarah went through. Of course, she started the Hideaway, moved away, and then came back. But I think the Hideaway was like a safe haven for both of these, and it was a place for them to feel like safe and secure and content. And just, I think this house was more than a house. It had a lot of character, it had a lot of memories, and it, like I said, it just allowed them to figure out who they were and to be like happy with that. So I think that was really cool. Another one that kind of almost feels like the character or the house becomes a character would be The House of a Bradbury by Nicole Meyer, and I will link a review to that below in case you guys want to check that out. But again, that's another book that has a heavy emphasis on this house that almost makes it feel like a character, and it's got so many great elements just like the Hideaway does, and I really appreciated that. Like I said, I just loved Mags. I think she was so crazy and eccentric and just like her own unique person, and you get to see more of this backstory of what made her that way, and everybody, you know, you get this feeling that she was just a little kooky, and now you start to peel back layers and see why. You get to appreciate it, you get to like fall in love with her, and I actually really admired her. She was very strong and confident, and I loved like just everything about that character, and I wish I would have gotten even more before she had passed, even though some of her memories and things kind of get like resurfaced, and like the spirit of her is still there while Sarah's uncovering all these like discoveries and secrets and the truth about her grandmother. But I just loved her, and I definitely could have more of her. So then moving on to Sarah, she ends up falling in love with this guy. I think his name was Crawford. Gosh, now I'm totally like blanking on it that I'm trying to film this. But I really enjoyed their relationship. I don't feel like it was like over the top or cheesy or like that instant like love connection kind of thing that I thought it was going to be. I definitely think it was like Obviously there was a spark and there was a connection and there was something there between them, but the way it played out was very nicely done. It was kind of like on their own terms and just kind of, I don't know how to explain it. It was just very sweet. I liked that he was so confident and sure of who he was and allowed Sarah the time to figure out who she was. He kind of saw through a lot of things and knew exactly who she was and that he loved her. But I think, you know, at that point, Sarah wasn't sure who she was, so he gave her that time and the space and like the support to just figure out who she was and still be there for her and to like believe in her. And so I just loved him, and so I think that was really great. I was frustrated with Sarah a few times in this because I felt like she was kind of back and forth, or she like didn't want to believe certain things, or she always, you know, assumed certain things, and so I felt like she was a little bit more frustrating as a character, but it gave her those flaws. It allowed her to feel more real, and I think allowing you to see these struggles that she was having as well allowed you to connect a little bit more with her. So I liked that. The other thing that I really enjoyed about this was her little shop Bits and Pieces. I think having a shop like that would be so much fun, and just I think she stressed a lot about it, and I'm sure, you know, as running a business and something like that, that you definitely have to be like type A, over the top, and just like very protective and controlling of it, but at the same time I felt like it started to consume her life, and so I love that the Hideaway kind of peeled her back and allowed her to be more at ease and just, you know, chill. And then with the whole Hideaway thing, I just, again, it was this beast of like a workload, actually. I mean, it was a beast in its own. It was a lot of work because she had a lot of renovations to do, which also made me fall in love with that aspect because I love anything on like HGTV, like Chip and Joanna, like, so I loved the little vibes it had of that and like the restoration of it, start to finish, not only from Sarah's point of view, kind of from the other people that were living in there with her grandmother Mags, and so I just think that was really cool to see, and the fact that it got like saved, and I don't know, so I just loved it. Houses with character or old things in general just really speak to me, and I know her shop with Bits and Pieces, she flips furniture. I kind of do that in some of my spare time, so I think it's really fun to have that connection as well. One of my most favorite things though would have to be all the like southern charms and those like talk of like food and family and the waterfronts, and just like the environment in general was just magnificent, and I just absolutely loved it. It has me like begging to just go live there, or at least stay at this B&B. I wish it was real life so I could go, and if it is, Lauren, like based on some kind of like truth or place, I would love to know, because this is one place that I just adore. This whole setting and the characters were pretty fantastic too. So like I said, I really enjoyed it. I gave it 5 stars. Perfect for summer or a beach read or just whatever. It's really heartwarming. It's really great. So I hope you guys will give this a chance. If you have any questions about this or whatever, I would just love to chat. So definitely comment below and let me know. Otherwise, again, give it a chance. It's really great. There's a link below to order as well. By clicking the link and ordering through there, you guys are helping support this channel, so I greatly appreciate that. Otherwise, that's just kind of my long ramblings about this book. Like I said, stayed up really late. I had to force myself to go to sleep. I was constantly wanting to dive back in. I just was really consumed with this book, and I loved it. So thank you again to Lauren for sending me this advanced copy. Hope you guys will definitely check it out. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Have a good one, you guys. Bye.